What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain, my man, Kenny Stubblefield on the other side of the World Wide Web. My boy, Kenny, what's going on with you, man?
I'm officially pissed off.
What you pissed off about, man?
I got two things I'm pissed off about. Number one,
Okay.
Collierville High School been going through the ringer with all that nonsense coming out about the basketball. My folks are going crazy.
Your boy.
Here. My white brethren are kicking folks out for diversity reasons. Number one, pissed off about that. Number two, this is my city, bro, and I got Ja Morant in my old alma mater, high school, hooping, and ain't nobody calling me, bro.
Oh man, knowing you do what you do. Ja's over there for what?
But he's just hooping. He's just hooping.
Sensitivity training.
Sensitivity training. John's over there for sensitivity.
Who's the blackest person we could get over
here? How can we get right with the people again?
How can we just get a good dose of the black experience? Ja Morant. There you go.
But nobody called me Ant. What's up, bro?
Man, that's foul. That's your people, though, bro. That's
my people. This is my city, man. What's up?
Man, my city. It's a parade inside my city.
It's a parade inside my city, and I'm not invited, bro. It makes me mad.
You wouldn't even invited, man. Hey, let's show you what they mean to you, bro. Hey, hey,
ain't no loyalty in these streets, man.
Hey, he not like us, is what they said. Bro.
He not like us. That's what they're saying.
Oh man, good stuff, man. Good stuff for sure. Well, man, a lot of things are going on in the NBA, of course, going on with the Memphis Grizzlies. Since the last time we talked, Kenny Stubblefield, the NBA conference finals are set over out east. Man. Indiana Pacers, and my man, the media plan himself, Tyrese Halliburton, has gotten to the conference finals. Kind of got me watering down the importance of the conference finals, because it seems like it's for everybody out here these days. It kind of waters down the whole G&G run of we hold that conference finals run so near to our hearts, man.
And the Pacers are in there,
right? We look at something Luka Doncic has done twice. Tyrese Halliburton is done. Anthony Edwards is done. Like, all right, bro. Like,
okay, never mind.
Yeah, but the Indiana Pacers, the Boston Celtics, a team that I think everyone is sillily sleeping on. They're really being knocked for lazily skating through the playoffs, which is what they've been doing the first two rounds, which they probably will be able to do again in this round. I think they win this series probably in 6. Boston. Yeah. And then,
it's an out of sight, out of mind kind of thing with the Boston Celtics. They ain't played for like 70 days, man. They've been blown through everybody.
You got to remember, man, this team was one of the best teams in the NBA the entire season. They coasted through the entire year. So that's because they're good. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that whole thing works out over there. I got Boston winning that series. And then over in the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves found a way to, and I'm not going to lie, bro, if you're going to talk about one of the most commendable playoff series, what Minnesota did in that Denver series, first to win those first 2 games in Denver and win 3 out of 4 games in Denver. Something that the strongest home court advantage in the NBA is Denver. The crowd, elevation, they're a good team. All those things are against you, and you win 3 out of 4 games in Denver, man. Shout out to Minnesota for sure. They get the Dallas Mavericks. A series I think is going to be very, very good. 2 teams that are kind of polar opposites of each other offensively, but defensively, 2 very stout teams defensively. And like I said, those series are going to be great. But Kenny, the U.S. two agendas that I pushed this postseason, man, are happening so well right in front of my face, man. It did have to make a team that we do look at as one of our peers. Right. Minnesota get to the conference finals, as well as somebody I've talked really bad about in Tyrese Halliburton. I did have to take those as casualties, man, but USA. And the agenda is alive and well, man. USA basketball, man. USA basketball, man. Anthony Edwards still alive. Tyrese Halliburton, our point guard, our Team USA point guard. You know what I mean? In the battle of the point guards, Tyrese Halliburton came out on top against what's his name? Jalen Brunson, right? He came out on top against him.
What's that guy's name again?
Captain America himself, Jason Tatum, man, holding it down over there in Boston, man. The stars and stripes forever, man. God bless America and no place else, man. My guys out here, man. Kyrie Irving, hey, it ain't too late, man. It ain't too late to take one for your country, man. I know it is. That's also poetic too. People saying that Kyrie Irving should have made the USA team. He didn't, so he gets to play for the motherland of white people, wherever the hell Luka Doncic is from.
That's my hometown. That's my home country.
Home country, man. He gets to represent the motherland out there with Luka, man. But like I said,
Slovenia,
wherever that brother from, wherever he from, his whole country came at me a couple times on Twitter. Yeah, man. I'm excited about it all. These are gonna be two very good playoff series, in my opinion. If I had my way, it would be Boston versus Minnesota in the finals.
A tough series.
And I think that then I want to see Boston win. I want to see Tatum and Brown get one. But yeah, I have some other stuff I want to talk about, man. But I'm gonna save all that when we get to Paris. But I will throw this out. The Mike Conley stuff, man.
Jesus.
Let's talk about it, bro. Let's talk about it. Then we'll go get my boy Parish Sharkey, who joins us each and every Wednesday here on the Anthony Sain Show. Of course, he is the Grizzlies beat writer for Bluff City Media, grinding his tail off even in the off season, to keep this thing together. But I'll say this, and I'll clarify a couple things. Does anyone as a Grizzly fan have the right to cheer for whoever they cheer for in the playoffs, especially when the Grizzlies aren't playing? Yes, right.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't give a flying deep fried shit about who you guys choose to cheer for. I don't. I honestly don't care who you choose to cheer for. Me, I'm a huge unapologetic Jason Tatum fan, right? I love Jason Tatum. I'm really pulling for Tatum to get his first ring. I'm pulling for that. Like if the Grizzlies did not exist, when the Grizzlies did not exist, and even after the Grizzlies did exist, I was a big fan of Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce were my three favorite players in the league on their respective teams that they played for. And when they came together, I pulled for Boston big time when those dudes got together, even when the Grizzlies were here. So I kind of have a Jason Tatum is my guy, like period. Even if he didn't play for Boston, that'd be my guy. So I get it. Pulling for another team, especially when your team is around, I get it. Pull for whoever you want to pull for. When you talk about the grit and grind era, Zach Randolph was that dude to me. He was my favorite player of that era. My second favorite player of that era was Mike Conley Jr. Right. And I remember even in covering the team, just some really dope conversations I've had with Mike Conley. He's a super cool dude. You know what I mean? He's Mike. I mean, we get all that. It was Zebo, Mike, Mark, TA to me. That was the pecking order for the big four.
Wait,
for the
TA was after Mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Mark, yeah. Anyway, totally different conversation. Hey, let me deal with one G&G issue at a time. My bad. Let me deal with one sector of the fan base at a time, right? So if you choose to cheer for Mike, you definitely have that right. I also have a right to not give a damn about Mike's career outside of being a Memphis Grizzly. Like I do not care, bro. Like when Mike Conley got traded to another team, that dude was super happy to be gone. Like, and he has that right as well. The situation that he left, I'm not mad at him for being happy to get away from it. But I have no rooting interest for Mike Conley to win a championship. If he wins one, will I be happy? Will I be hating on him? No. I'll be, hey, that's dope. Mike Conley got a championship. Hey, he's been around for a long time. I was happy when he got his all-star nod, right? Cool. Like, shout out to Mike. But I'm not rooting for that to happen, bro. Like, I don't care if that happens or not. Like I'm not rooting for Mike Conley to win a championship. Does that mean I'm wired different than y'all? Cool. I mean, that's fine. But like I said, I'm not alone because that tweet got hella traction and hella likes and hella replies. F him was a common restraint. You're right, F him. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people were saying to me. Like, y'all are weird, man. I had people cursing me out and, oh, this guy was the face of the franchise. No, he wasn't. No. I remember very well when Mike Conley was the GOAT before GOAT meant a good thing for this team. He was the guy that was getting blamed for a lot of stuff that was happening. I listened to Chris Vernon's show, destroyed Mike Conley all the time. Like I listened to a lot of people destroy Mike Conley up and down the radio waves. You know what I mean? So he wasn't the face of the face of the grit and grind era to me was Zach Randolph.
Absolutely.
Now, at the end of it, Mike Conley was the best player on this team without a doubt. You know what I mean? But like I said, like let's not get carried away, bro. But like I said, you guys have the right to cheer for whoever you cheer for. I don't really give a damn. I'm pulling for Minnesota to beat Dallas. I want Minnesota to beat Dallas, but I want Boston to win the whole thing. And I don't care about Mike Conley being on Minnesota. Minnesota wins, but I'd be like mad that he won. No, but I don't have any rooting interest in seeing Mike win. Like I didn't do that with Powell. When Powell was winning championship for the Lakers, I was mad as hell because I was
mad
like,
as hell.
Damn.
That was different. That was different.
I don't care about that. When James Posey win the 1-1 with Boston, I don't be for Posey. Like I don't care about these dudes winning championships that ain't my team, man. Like I'm a Memphis Grizzly fan, bro. And then like I don't also pretend to know these dudes, bro. Like too many times as fans, we can get emotionally invested in strangers. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know these dudes like that, man. Like I don't have any reason to cheer for Mike outside of him put on a Grizzlies uniform. But yeah, I just thought I'd get it out the way, man, because I had a lot of people either laughing because it's funny, laughing at me because they agree, or mad at me because they disagree. So, but yeah, lost a couple followers at night, but hey, that's fine. That's bad too. I've done worse, you know. I've had worse happen because I remember people got mad at me one time when I said that y'all have lost y'all mind. Pau Gasol is better than Mark, and I probably lost 100 followers that night. I was like, you know, when you get out of your emotions,
only
Powell's
one of them's a Hall of
better.
Famer.
Yeah, Powell's better than
Hall
Mark
of Famer.
when you're done. All right, but yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get out the way. My man Parish Sharkey is in the building. We're gonna talk more about this NBA playoffs, as well as some Memphis Grizzlies news. Somebody who won an award, and somebody who didn't win an award. We'll talk about that and more here on Anthony Sain Show. We'll see you guys in a minute.
When I saw that Michael Cole put out a story of Adam Silver continuing his check-ins with Ja, I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Draymond Green is still kicking dudes in the nards and throwing spinning back fists in the middle of games. And for some reason, Ja Morant still needs a check-in. He's yet to hurt anybody. He's taking the right steps. Shut the hell up, dude. Like, what are we doing? It is such posturing. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and it's gross. It was steep, and he was trying to make an example of him, and we didn't think he'd be able to stick to that. Lo and behold, by damn, he hasn't. Miles Bridges in the league. Draymond had an indefinite suspension away from, I don't even think it was actual suspension. Sorry, you knew exactly what button to push because I saw the article come out and I was like, what a cuck. It's unbelievable.
Adam Silver, the cuck.
Come hang out with Daniel Greer and Nathan Qualls on Grizz 901 Live. Every Tuesday night at 901 live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I wonder if Luka's going to survive because he fell to the floor the other night. When he got up, it reminded me of myself getting up off the floor these days. I was like, my God, he looks like he's 50 years old trying to get up off the floor. I think Luka's embellishing a little bit because he might be beat up and everything, but I think he's embellishing a little bit to just he's pulling the old bait and switch on people.
A little bit.
I
told my brothers the other day on text, I'm almost getting tired of watching them bitch and moan the whole game.
Oh my God.
It's over. It's literally over everything. And it's not just over, was it a call, not a call? Is it my teammate didn't move? Or if I threw a pass, you weren't there? I'm just, all of the antics are getting old. For somebody who is such a great basketball player, the whining has gotten absolutely out of control. It's every single possession.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Like each and every Wednesday, man, I got my guy with me, Parish Sharkey, man. Y'all know who he is. Bluff City Media. Y'all know what he does, man. He's a beat writer for Bluff City Media. I got a video clip, Parish Sharkey, that I'm trying to put together. I got to put on Twitter, man, because it's a clip of George W. Bush when he refused to concede Florida in the election. You probably were a teenager when that happened.
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
I'm gonna put that tweet out. I'm gonna put that video out, clip out. I'm gonna say, these are the Taylor Jenkins water carriers right now. In response to
Hey, Grizz could have been on one.
Man,
I can't even explain what they've been on, bro. Like, bro, they need to find a life, man.
Hey, these folks so bad at me, man. I'm like, man, I'm Mike Conley, bro. I'm not pulling for no team. No freaking Mike. Bro, Mike Conley been in the league. Bro, Mike Conley's been gone. Mike Conley's been gone from Memphis since 2000. He's been gone for 6 years, right?
Yep, 2019.
Man, that's a long. He's been gone. Mike. He's been gone. John Morant's whole career. Like,
Yeah,
why am I cheering for Mike? Like, why am I cheering for Mike Conley, bro? Like, anyway.
Right.
Right,
I had a legit argument with my wife about that. She was basically she called me on something. Mike Conley, like, you need to be cheering. I was like, look, that's cool. I was like, cool, but that ain't the reason I want him to win. Like,
if he win, cool. Like, oh man, let's go. I got a ring. But I'm not actively pulling for. I'm pulling for Minnesota for other reasons, bro. I love, like I said, there are two agendas I'm pushing big time. The bring American basketball back agenda. Like, I shed a tear when Luka got his big ass out of there. Not Luka. You next, Luka. When Jokic got his big ass out of here, I was shedding a tear, man. Like, American basketball is back, bro. Dark skin basketball. No, it ain't back because you got Halliburton and Tatum. But yeah, man, I'm getting my mama and daddy's basketball back, bro. For real, this all these freaking European dudes. I'm like, all right, bro. I'm not gonna say I'm not okay with the best players in the world being from Slovenia. Like, I'm out on there, bro. All right, bro. Let me stop before I get both of us in trouble. But yeah. Yeah, bro. I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm glad that American basketball is you only one left, Luka. And I don't think you're gonna come out on top. All right, so like I said, Grizz Nation is going kind of crazy. Report came out today. I haven't done little research on this at all. I don't see any tweet this is referring to. I don't know what this is a interview, a podcast, or what. But Legion Hoops, which is another hoops basketball aggregator, basically who takes information and disperses it, says the 3 head coaches will enter next season with their jobs on the hot seat per John Hollinger. Chauncey Billups, Willie Green, and also one Taylor Jenkins, head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know how valid this is. I've seen the Joe Mullinaxes of the world go crazy. I'm sure Parker Fleming is going to have a thought piece. Sean Coleman, I'm sure, is going to. Hey, I'm talking about these folks are like, wait 1 minute, goddammit, wait. Hey, any other thing they hate that. Any other thing John Hollinger says, they stamping it. They standing on it, but they are not behind this one at all. So I'm just sitting back watching this unfold for sure. What are your thoughts on that, man? Not just do you think this is real, but just that basic idea of Taylor Jenkins, quote unquote, being on the hot seat. We heard the stuff about and they played the semantic games with that as well, as far as the assistant coach turnover thing. I heard information about that well before Mark Stein, well before Kelly Inco or whoever. I don't know who that is, but I know the name, but I'm not familiar with who that is. But they don't never give your boy no credit, Paris. But I stopped looking for it, man. I just do what I do. And people who I consider to be my associates or to be friends with, when people are saying the Kelly Aiko dude broke the story, right? I heard a couple people say, no, it actually was. My eyes popped up. Oh, they about to give me some props. Oh, it was Mark Stein. Oh, okay, all right. I thought you was my guy. That's cool. That's cool.
Hey, shout out to you, and it's my guy for the Titans. So Courtney Griffin, he broke like the Tyler Boyd signing news before anybody else got it. So shout out to y'all. I'm gonna give y'all flowers.
Hey, I appreciate it. But I like if you're one of those people who feel like you got to hear it from the whoever's of the world, that's fine. But like I said, I do. Hey, what my theme song said, I do it for the city because I know the city love a naysayer. So that's what I do it for. I do it for who fool with me, bro. I ain't chasing y'all approval, but I will let y'all know that I see y'all ass. I see y'all naysayers out there for real. But what are your thoughts on that whole thing with the assistant coach thing? That's a reality that's happening, that they are about to replace some assistant coaches. Plus this possible report by John Hollinger. What are your possible thoughts on Taylor Jenkins, being on the hot seat, and what does a hot seat mean to you?
It's the same as before. I mean, we talked about it last time with assistant coaches. That's definitely some type of flag, a red flag, right, yellow flag, whatever type of white flag, whatever you want to say, what type of flag it is. It's some type of highlight to it, right? And really just my thoughts. Really, I hadn't seen the Hodger report, but I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, like you just said. He just rated who's on the hot seat. The 3 coaches he named, I'm surprised Chauncey Billups isn't fired already. But see, he on the hot seat. Well, I guess I can understand. Portland ain't, good situation. Willie Green, I fully understand because there's he should go into next season. And Taylor Jenkins as well. My definition of hot seat is more. I guess it's like, I don't know. I really had to go explain it. If the Grizzlies start off, God forbid they start 6-19 again, which I'm ranked this time, but they start off slow. If if you start, let's say you go the first 20 or let's say 30 games, and you go 15-15, you could potentially get fired. He could potentially be out of here, right? If he does well in the regular season like he does, okay. The postseason is really what he's really on hot seat for. He's had good regular seasons last year, injuries. You get a pass for that. But the next postseason, I feel like he would have been on hot seat this year if they didn't get, let's say Ja Morant never got suspended, what is up, what if, but Ja Morant never got suspended and they made the playoffs. Right. No, none of the health issues happened and they made the playoffs and lost in the first round again. He would have probably been fired this year. So next year, pretty much, depending on what long as it sounds like they're going to build the team that they're supposed to have to compete for a championship, right? I would say definitively losing the first round, he's probably out, more than likely. If you lose in the second round, it depends on who you lose to and how you lose. If you lost how Denver just lost to Minnesota, he might be okay and be on a real hot seat the following year. If you get swept or losing 5 games, he's out, right? So I think really it's a lot of different meanings to it, but a lot of things it's a lot of different things that can happen that could consider him getting fired. But a slow start, definitely, he's probably out off the top. And depending on who they get as his assistants, they might be confident enough in one of those assistant coaches to take over and be the interim for the rest of the season.
I look at the whole thing and I say, if there's a problem with Taylor Jenkins that you look at as being a fireable offense, right? I think there's something that has to be identified in November, December. I don't think you should go to another playoff series because, as you can see, man, the NBA is changing. It's transitioning in front of our eyes, right? We're watching a metamorphosis of the NBA where there are 4 NBA teams led by stars that are 26 or under, if I'm not mistaken. I think Jason Tatum is 26 years old. Yeah. He's the oldest. You know what I mean? Like, he's the oldest, like, guy leading his team. You got him over there. You got Luka, who's 24, 25, allegedly. Right. You got Anthony Edwards, who's 22 years old. Halliburton's maybe 22, 23.
Yeah, 21, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And there's opportunities. Like, you should be in the hunt next year if you're the Grizzlies. I don't want to find out in the playoffs that Taylor Jenkins ain't that dude. I want to identify in November or December if he's not the man. I'm not saying that he's justified to be on the hot seat, but if you see the bullshit, man, do it now, man. Like, do it today. You know what I mean? Like, don't wait until the playoff. I shouldn't have to see a playoff failure to fire him. That's something that he should be on his, because if we're seeing it, if you see it in November, December, you're going to see it in April, May. You know what I mean? In April, May, June. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion on that. Good news for the Memphis Grizzlies. Gigi Jackson, Parish Sharkey, named to the All-NBA second team yesterday. Barely beat, the All-Rookie second team. Barely beat your boy that's on the Warriors team. Can't think of his name right now. That fact should also tell you no one gives a damn about Gigi beating you by 1 point. Gigi should have beat him by more than 1 point. That's the issue.
Yeah, and the first place votes.
I know who that guy is. Like, I think he's fine, but man, Gigi had a hell of a year, bro. And I think the only thing that you can kind of penalize Gigi Jackson for is not playing and not starting out the season playing games. But I mean, he's a second round rookie. You know what I mean? So
but when you think about that, like there was nobody like, he had, like, he didn't start truly playing to January. But when I looked at like the list, the thing about our rookie teams, there are a limited number of rookies that really truly deserve to be like out on the list, right? When I looked behind him, I was like, there's nobody behind him that I would have put above him on the second team. So even he started playing in January and he outplayed everybody else behind him on the list. So it was like, oh wow, he was out on the second team. So
Trace Jackson Davis is the dude who's bitching.
Oh, Dale Davis, Dale Davis' son.
Yeah, go trace you a picture of Gigi. That's Dale Davis' son for real?
Yep.
Oh, you'll be all right, son. You rich ass. You've been a rich kid all your life. You'll be all right. You'll be all right, bro. Make room for Gigi. The man of God, prophesying, spoke things over his life, man. Speaking in tongues.
Right. He's so funny, bro.
Oh man. I just
Hey, do he have a chance to be funnier than Anthony Davis?
Who, Gigi?
Yeah.
Funnier than Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gigi's a pretty funny dude to me, man. Like,
he hit it there.
And then like, because I was talking to Chris about this, right? Because Dwight Howard came into the league like a very devout Christian, right? A lot of people don't even remember that. He came to the league like saying the NBA logo should be a cross, and when he gets his shoe, he's gonna put a cross on his shoe and all those type of things. And then started getting coochie out here, and he just
Right, switched up real quick.
Oh yeah, did he switch the type of?
Then he switched, yeah. Even go to all that. Even go to where he switched to. After he got on the kids, he switched up.
Oh God. So let me phrase this correctly, man. Gigi is a very young man. He has an incredible zeal for the Lord Jesus Christ, right? I'm assuming that over time that zeal is going to regulate. I just wonder what direction will he go in. Like, will he become Dwight Howard or will he become Steph Curry? You know what I mean? Like, oh man. All right, but just sticking to hoops. Gigi Jackson, do you put a cap on him as far as what? Do you put a cap on him as far as what he can be? Because I believe Gigi Jackson is a guy who by the time the playoffs roll around, he's going to be a rotation player, big minutes, like do everything, like big responsibility type dude, similar to like what a Michael Porter Jr. is for Denver. Do you see that in him, or is he someone that will look like more of a developmental player next year?
I can see him, like you said, not Michael Porter now, but Michael Porter. I think it was the bubble year. Was that his first year? Yeah. When he kind of came in, he came off the bench. Yeah, and he gave them real production. So that Michael Porter, not the starting, more like actually the third option Michael Porter, but that one, yeah. I definitely see that next season. I'm even going as far to say, it's a lot, trade rumors haven't started on all this stuff, the real trades ain't got here yet. But I'm willing to say I wouldn't even throw, because it's some of these specific stars like Donovan Mitchell, Mikal Bridges, where those teams are probably going to ask for Gigi Jackson, and I'm confident enough to say I want to.
Yeah,
I got to see what I'm confident enough to see. Let me see what he really could become for real.
Whether it's reports about Donovan Mitchell that are coming out or just my gut, it just feels like the Grizzlies are willing to do some things this year to kind of to solidify this team and to make this team a playoff level team. What are your overall thoughts on that? As far as, do you feel the same way, or do you kind of feel like, well, they're just going to get a big and just roll out what they have and plus a big man, or do you feel like they're going to make some other type moves, whether that's adding additional wings or additional shooting or anything? Like, what do you think how do you think their level of activity will look this offseason?
I think it would be, I guess, I want to say moderate. I think they're going to be how we already saw their name kind of thrown as dark horse to Donovan Mitchell. They're going to put their name in. They're going to see, hey, what you want, or they're going to attempt or look into it, right? Put their name out there. Would they actually like connect? Not sure. We'll see, because you're probably going, in order for something like Donovan Mitchell to go down, Desmond Bain, that's who's gone. Like, ain't no way you bring in Donovan Mitchell and you keep it Desmond Bain. That's a lot of salary for 4 people. With this new apron, with this new tax apron, the Grizzlies will have to be willing to go into the tax in the first apron or wherever to make a championship team. But how far do you go into it to truly get you a championship team when you probably got the core right now? You can just add a big man. And I think the real big thing that a lot of people really, I haven't heard this a lot, but me and you have talked about it. Santi Aldama would be a good person to probably package with Luke Kennard in the trade for another decent, really good role player or something along those lines. So I really believe like someone like Santi has I think he has a good trade stock, essentially, that you can use him to plug into a significant trade to really get someone a production that really gets them to where they are. So I don't know if it's going to be like a big star. If it is, we'll see how the locker room turns out from it. But the person who would go in like a big star trade would be Desmond Bain. But I really see them keeping that big three intact and really seeing if they can win with that big three before they try and like truly go after like a true big star.
You hear a lot about guys like a Denny Avdia type player. I could see
someone like that.
Yeah, if I could see maybe a Kennard type pick for him. I ain't gonna lie, man. I think Denny Avdia is a really good player, and I think he'd be a very good player to put in even a starting lineup. If you're gonna go to Jaren Jackson Jr. starting the center route, I think Avdia could be a good player to put beside him at that role at the 4. Is he a guy that you would trade for, and would you do maybe Kennard and 9? Would you totally get out of that lottery situation for a guy like Denny Avdia, given Washington in essence 2 top 10 picks?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm the wrong person to ask. I really haven't watched him play, so I'm gonna have to go off the word to everybody else because I didn't watch Washington.
Channel your inner Parker Fleming, bro. That's
right. I got
Fleming caught 2 strays today, man. Or 2 shutouts, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah, but looking at his stats, I guess since this is considered a weak draft,
yeah,
number 9 pick could go for him, but I would probably want a little more with the 9 pick. But yeah, to your point, I think he's a really good shooter. I think he could fit really well with the team, but I don't know. Kennard and a 9 pick for him. All right, let me look at some film and get back with
you. yeah, for sure. Also of note, Jaren Jackson Jr. did not make any of the all defensive teams after being defensive player of the year last year. Jaren's numbers went down, his blocks went down a lot. The team was, of course, terrible, but the defense remained, top 15 pretty much for the year. Do you think that Jaren really had an off year, or was it just the Grizzlies had an off year as far as all that goes?
I think a little bit of both. The Grizzlies had an off year, and he won Defensive Player of the Year. He had to tail off in general because his role changed. He had to do more offense. Right. You had no big man to help you out, right? So you had some struggles on defense, just so the fact that you weren't playing your typical role that he normally plays, the defensive player who can roam around, right? So he had a slight drop off, but the difference between like all rookie teams and all defensive and all NBA teams, rookie teams are normally teams who aren't that good, and obviously not good because they had rookies, right, that stepped up. Defensive player of the years, defensive teams, I can't think of a player who was on any of those defensive teams that were on the team that didn't make playoffs. So when you think about it like that way, he really probably was never going to make it anyway, because you really had to. The Grizzlies had to at least be competing for a playoff spot in order for him to truly make it. I think just still not making it, he wasn't going to make it anyway.
Something else that came out of the GG Jackson stuff that he was talking about on his Instagram Live is that he said that he was getting
Jake.
Yeah, he said he was getting towed up by Jake LaRavia. And I gathered 2 things from that. Number one thing I gathered was it's great that these dudes are playing. Like they're playing with each other, against each other, all these type of things, right? My question is, the second thing that came in my mind was, bro, can Jake LaRavia hoop for real? Like, we saw him going off during certain stretches of the season, right? And Gigi was like, man, that man's busting my ass in workouts. Like,
confidence is a thing, bro.
What if though, bro? Like, what if Jake LaRavia really can play? Like, I'm not saying like he's a dude. What if he's your 9th or 10th man on this team? What if he's good enough to where you can trade a Luke Kennard and you don't feel it?
I was thinking.
Because I'll be honest with you, man. If we just having dead honest conversation,
that's fine. Let's go.
If you take the shooting, if you make both of them 0 rating shooters on NBA 2K, right? Jake LaRavia is a better player than Luke Kennard is.
Of course,
he's 6'7", 6'8". He
Rebound.
can dribble a little bit. He can defend a little bit. He can rebound. Jake LaRavia may be good, bro. And I know I've dogged that man out in the last 2 years more than probably anybody. He might be good, family. Like, for real.
Guess what? So, that's what we want. that works out perfect. And when you talk about Denny Avdia, can Jake LaRavia be like I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
Man,
like,
bro. And if he does, like, what are we really upset with climbing about at that point? Roddy and Zaire.
Yep. Which we knew he took a swing on Zaire.
Yeah. Cool. Transition over to the NBA, the NBA playoffs, the Western Conference, Eastern Conference Finals. Getting ready to kick off. Give me your predictions for both sides and just some of your general thoughts about the playoffs, what we have left in the playoffs.
It's nice to have teams. I think this will be the 6th straight year that we won't have a repeat champion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the last 4 or 5 years, the champion hasn't got past the defending champ hasn't got past the second round. So that's letting you know parity's in the league. Seeing the young dude still taking everybody out except the OKC Thunder. Shout out to Dallas for
get y'all bum ass up out of here.
right.
Definitely.
If it was any team, so my whole thought on this whole playoffs is it don't matter who wins. I don't have any ill will against any of these teams remaining. Oklahoma City is out. That was the last team that I was a hater for. Get them up out of here, right? But Boston has no excuse. This is it. If they don't win this year, I don't know when. It's time to blow some stuff up because this is it. I came to this postseason saying Denver is the only team Boston can lose to, pretty much. Denver is out. Boston game. This is it.
They gotta win. They gotta win the whole thing. And I'm not saying break it up because they're still a very young team. That Boston team, to me, has always been a victim of their own early success. That team was going to conference finals like Jason Tatum's first year. 20. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, they've been victims of their own success. But if you look throughout history, these young teams just aren't win like that. So, but I think now is the year where you really have to put them on the hook. They need to go. Yep. They are the favorites. Go out there and win the championship. That's Boston, you need to go win the championship. I definitely agree with you on that. When you look at somebody like a Tyrese Halliburton, where do you place him? How do you judge his performance? He's had some really good games, had some really bad games, all things considered. Is he a guy that you really can build to be a championship contending team? And how can you say no if you're sitting here watching him now in the Eastern Conference Finals?
You say no because of how, and I mean, every year teams benefit from injuries. Right. I think champions every year is typically the most healthy team, and the 4 teams remain are the most healthy. But they did benefit. New York, I mean, by the end of the series, they missed 5 of their best 7 players. They were they were basically the Grizzlies this season in Game 7 or the fourth quarter Game 7, right? Milwaukee the same way. They were missing their 2 best players in the majority of the series, and the best player missed the whole series. So they benefit from that, but you still have to go out and win the game, right? And Tyrese Halliburton, this is his first playoffs, I believe. So I kind of expected some inconsistencies where, okay, he don't look as good, then he has great performances. This is his first rodeo. The fact he has answered the bell, I think specifically the Knicks series when he struck it early in the series, the latter half of the series he played really well and got them and wheeled them over. So he's definitely shown improvement in that regard. So I believe that he could be a true player you could build around. I'm not sure yet. I would say this. I believe more in building around him than Trae Young. I believe Indiana could potentially get better a return. Otherwise, we knew Atlanta wasn't coming back when they made the run. I do believe Indiana could potentially be in the mix because their offense is just they score like a mud. That's crazy how their offense is so efficient. They shot 70%. They shot 80% in the first half of their Game 7. So they definitely efficient team. So I can see this not necessarily like a true repeat, but I believe that they'll be in a thick of, especially in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference really is showing you that Boston really had a true cakewalk through this because it was ain't nobody beating them. But we'll see how Indiana matches up. But I do believe this could be sustained somewhere where they could return potentially, unlike Atlanta from a couple years ago.
Going out west, big, kind of clash of the Titans, so to speak. Luka Doncic, definitely one of the MVP level players over out west that's never won. Anthony Edwards as well, another MVP level player that's never won MVP. What are your thoughts about that series? Plus, you got a Kyrie Irving playing for Dallas. Yep. My thing is, I think Minnesota is going to win this series, but I think the dynamic of having those 2 really good, mega players in Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, both playing on the perimeter. Minnesota hasn't seen anything like that yet in the playoffs. They had to deal with, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, but now you got your backcourt is 2 jumbo scorers in Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Mike Conley is a little bit undersized. He's also a guy who's a former defensive, all-defensive team. Not a great one-on-one defender at this point of his career still. And then you got, of course, also in the backcourt, Anthony Edwards, who's a tremendous defender. Do you think that that's an advantage for Dallas that we're not really talking about? And also, how do you see the big man of Dallas playing a factor in that series?
That's what I was about to go with it. They're big men. Because remember, Minnesota did play KD and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal for that fact right in the first round.
Yeah.
But the others around them were trash, right? Dallas actually got PJ Washington had a great series, right? He got mouths to feed. He got the baby by Brittany all this stuff. So he got he going out there like
him and what's my boy, man? Houston Rockets. Him and
Jalen Green.
Hey, Jalen Green. Them babies getting coming. The boys turning into Kobe after the rape trial.
They got some things to take care of. They balling like
locked in.
Shout out to Derek Lively and Dane Gafford. Like that
Derek Jones Jr. too, man.
Derek Jones Jr. has been, bro. It's crazy how we was talking about the people who can't shoot, who developed a shot. He couldn't shoot at all. His first 5 years.
Nothing but run and jump. Make him do nothing but run and jump. And now he's like a 3-and-D player.
He had fade away mid-range jumpers in crunch time with game 6. So and which I think they probably Minnesota at some point in the series, I can see them putting Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels on
those two.
Luka and Kyrie and put Mike on Derek Jones Jr. and see, you make him beat y'all or see if y'all get past the best defenders. But I expect it to be a really good series. I think Dallas big men, the difference between them and Denver had Jokic, Aaron Gordon, and there was nobody off the bench.
Yeah.
Dallas do got PJ Washington, Dane Gafford, and Derek Lively kind of match up with Cat, Rudy Gobert, and Naz Reid. So they got the big man that can match up with them. So I really believe this is a true clash of the Titans, like you said. Dallas matches up with them. So they really got a legit shot at actually potentially pulling off another upset to get to the finals. But I expect this series to go probably the distance.
All right, so what's your prediction for that series? I think you're saying Boston. I think you got Boston beating the Pacers. So what's your prediction for that series? And then once you say that, how much will Porzingis factor? Will he be back? Will he be if he's not back, how much will he factor in the NBA Finals? Or even in this series?
He's expected to be back. From what I saw, he's expected to be back some point in this series. I do believe. I think Indiana they could score like mud, right? They could just they gonna have a game or two where they just shoot lights out and probably get Boston. And I think Boston has lost one game each series at home. I believe Indiana would get them twice, probably beat them in game 2 like Boston's lost the other game 2s, and get one at home. And Boston finish them out in 5 or 6. So they'll finish. I think Boston gets them in 6 games. As for the Minnesota Dallas series, God dang, I still ain't even truly chosen winner. I'm gonna go with Minnesota in 7. The reason why I think Luka obviously isn't. There's nobody that's 100% healthy, but Luka is probably not even 70%. Right, the way he's still finding ways to be productive. But I saw him and Kyrie struggle some against Oklahoma City. Minnesota is the number 1 defense, so I could see just same struggles happening against Minnesota, especially with a more Harper, Luka, and Anthony Edwards. He gonna have those takeover moments more than Luka. So it's just about who has the more takeover moments. I think Anthony Edwards is going to outlast them, and they'll get them in 7 games. And game 7 is at Minnesota. Although road teams have been winning game 7, so I think the whole team finally won this time. Yeah.
So you got Boston versus Minnesota in the finals, and let's talk about that. And
I'm assuming Porzingis will be back, and like I said, Boston has no excuse. If Porzingis is not back, if he's not back, I won't still say they have no excuse, but they got no big man out there, so they probably should win.
Right.
But for a team that's been there,
David Tillman, the finals MVP.
Yeah, right. At that point, but I'm assuming by seeming like Porzingis be back. If he's back, Boston better win, or we all gonna be on the head.
I tell you what, bro. Either way it go down, it sounds like it's gonna be. Do it with me, Paris. USA. With the best players at least. Oh man, that's the biggest troll act I've done in a while. Y'all know I don't care nothing about none of that.
Oh, man.
Y'all know what I'm trying to say, man. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, man. Stop playing with me. But yeah, go ahead.
Also, speaking of USA, it's so many players that's on Team USA still in here, like Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards. It's 2 on one. Drew Holiday.
Yeah, here's another thing too. Like so many people were saying, like the FIBA team we sent out, right? Oh, that's the B team, bro. That's the dudes who left in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, that's the dudes that have dominated the playoffs. Those dudes that you call the B team dudes, right? I say, man, Steve Kerr did not know what he was doing with that roster, man. Like, that roster needed probably one more true big.
Josh Hart.
Yeah, Josh Hart too. Like we didn't see any. Wow. We didn't see any Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 4 with Walker Kessler minutes at all. Nope. And if the Grizzlies got Walker Kessler, you're type, oh man, you might have put the Grizzlies in the finals. Like we didn't see any minutes of Walker Kessler and Jaren Jackson Jr. at all. But yeah, man, I tell you what, Paris, we about to take a break, man. We're gonna come back. As always, y'all know Paris joins you for the 3-pointer as well. We'll do that and more when we come back here on the Anthony Sain Show.
We've been applauding this. Going to continue to applaud what Ryan Silverfield and the staff are doing in the transfer portal. They added a huge addition in former Tennessee linebacker Elijah Herring. When you pair him with Chandler Martin, like you look at this linebacking core, those two guys and Elijah Herring and Chandler Martin, I think you have two guys that are not even really arguably in the top 5 for best defensive players in the conference. It just in your linebacking core.
You have the best linebacking core in the conference by a pretty landslide amount. You know, like
or none.
So this influx of money, the positive momentum under this program with Ryan, this is working in the correct direction.
They don't put together a recruiting class like this or a transfer portal class like this any other year, and they're continuing to make these additions in real time. And I think they're top 50 or top 45 right now.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Well, I pretty much thought of him as a second rounder, undrafted guy to begin with, being listed at 6'6" and then getting measured at 6'3.5". That's not going to help you at all. It doesn't change my NBA prospect, view on him too much, because I already had, I don't want to say a low opinion on him, but a skeptical one for sure, because David Jones can score with anybody. But what about the ball handling? What about the defensive IQ?
Someone could definitely fall in love with him. Especially he could easily find himself into a guaranteed 2-way deal because of his ability to score. Just come in and kind of be lightning in a bottle type of situation. But that 6'3.5" is something I talked about last week. I didn't think he was actually going to come back and measure at 6'6" by any means. And I think it hurts him. He does have a plus wingspan, though. I guess that's a good.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Time for the 3-pointer, where we talk about 3 things going on in the world of sports. Kenny Stubblefield, before we do that, you guys make sure you check out my guys over there with Tigers Untapped. Kenny Stubblefield, you've been sitting in with the crew here lately, man. A lot of stuff going on with the University of Memphis. Of course, when the Grizzlies aren't playing, our offseason is kind of slow. We got 36 more days into the draft, but so many things going on with Tiger athletics, whether it be Tiger basketball, Tiger football. Make sure you check those guys out. They come on today at 3 o'clock p.m. So after this show is over, go grab you something to eat real fast. Come back, hop back on your phone, hop back in front of your television, cut your podcast app on or whatever you're doing to consume Bluff City Media and check out Tigers Untapped here on Bluff City Media at 3 o'clock. But like I said, Ken, it's a 3-pointer where we talk about 3 things that are going on in the world of sports. My man Parish Sharkey joins us each and every time we do this. Let's do first things first, man. Penny Hardaway was on a podcast, the Muppet Babies podcast. Point Forward is the name of the podcast, hosted by Evan Turner and Andre Iguodala, former Memphis Grizzly Andre Iguodala. I was really impressed by this podcast, man. For those of you who haven't checked it out, go check it out wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't cut it off. Don't cut us off. Go back and check it out whenever you want. Evan Turner has the worst voice in the world. As a
Where's the cat? Where's the cat?
Oh, yes. If there's a person who has to record his voice, I do not often go back and watch the show. I often do not go back and listen to the podcast. Main reason why is because I don't like how I sound. Most people, they say that. They can relate to that, right? Yeah. Evan Turner, I hope you better feel the same way, bro. Or either that or you never actually listen to yourself because you have the worst voice in the world. You said Muppet Baby. He sounds like a Muppet Baby. He sounds like a Lil Yachty and Muppet Baby had a kid and Evan Turner came out. That dude's voice is horrible. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. Penny Hardaway had a very good interview. Yeah. Very candid interview. Penny, hey, you could come here whenever you want, man, and let loose here on the Anthony Sain show. I thought the interview was great. I love the stuff he talked about the NIL, especially the part about him talking about him paying you. Penny was like, I got a guy like if I'm paying him, but if I got to pay this kid, like, all right, wait, Penny.
Yeah, Penny. Let's get the language. I guarantee you the collective called him up and was like, bro,
you word that a little bit.
Let's work on our messaging just a little bit.
What he was saying was real, man. He was like, man, you have to deal with kids who. He said once these kids get this NIL stuff, they still have that point have to make the choice to say, okay, am I going to show why I'm the guy you're paying this amount of money, or am I just going to screw you out of your money? Just say, all right, man, I'm going to take this payday. I'm not an NBA player. I'm about to screw around. Screw y'all. I played 3 years of college. I'm just here collecting my check. Sorry, no return, no get backs. That type of thing. I thought that was a real thing, and a lot of stuff Penny was saying was just real. It was just good conversation. He talked about the microfracture surgery and how he felt like that was the worst mistake he ever made in his life. They said he was one of the first people to get that procedure.
That made me legitimately sad, Anthony.
Yeah,
when he said that, because they even said on there they don't even do that surgery anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even do
surgery that doesn't even exist.
And it's that legitimately made me sad, that part. Anyway,
he talked about some of the depression he dealt with when he realized his career was over, how he just came back to Memphis, how he told his story of how he got into coaching, a story we've heard a million times. Just a great interview. Check that out for sure. I'm trying to think of anything else he said that really stood out to me.
He talked about Ashton. He talked about Ashton for the first time.
Yeah, he talked about Ashton Hardaway, his son, and I said the same thing when somebody asked me what I thought about it. I said, man, I'm not really sure that Ashton, I don't like their father-son dynamic is a little different. Like Ashton, he didn't, not only did Penny not grow up in the house with him, they didn't grow up in the same town. Like he never lived with Penny. So I think that dynamic is a little strange. I'm sorry, not strange, just a little different. I think that we never knew that Ashton always wanted to come here. Like and Penny was like, I want him here with me. I thought this would be a good opportunity for me and him. And it was, but ultimately this isn't where he wanted to be anyway. So yeah. What are your thoughts on the whole thing, guys? Either one of y'all. Both of y'all.
No, I think it's one of those things where it's like people have had a lot of comments, and some of them are just horrifically bad takes about Penny Hardaway and Ashton Hardaway's relationship. Mm-hmm. But clearly their relationship is stronger, is more solid than what a lot of weirdos are saying out there about that relationship, because it's clear. I think it's very clear. Ashton is a system player that needs to play in a certain system to be successful. And Penny Hardaway's system is not that. But
he's got that West Coast Pac-10 style, whatever conference it is, St. Mary's is in. Yeah.
That spot up shooter kind of
West Coast
offense type of, a lot of pick and roll, a lot of things like that. But the fact that they made the choice for him to come here because he wanted to be with his father is a super dope story. And it kind of puts it into perspective of like, he almost had to describe it, Parish, as like he had to release him to let him, like, I'm releasing you to go and do what's good for you and not what's just good for us. And like, that to me was a solid, like, I got chills listening to that, because I was like, man, everybody can sit here and they can talk like, oh, it's a bad thing that Ashton left. Nah, man, the fact that he was here when he probably shouldn't have been says everything you need to know. Yeah.
Especially with his brother. He got to play because him and his brother grew up together. So just like you got to play with your brother and your dad 1 year.
Right. Yeah, that's dope. And I ain't gonna lie, man. I had already reset my expectations as being like getting back really on the Penny Hardaway support train. And after that interview, as candid, as open as he was, and just hearing guys who are recent NBA stars, recent known NBA players, talking to Penny like, man, like looking at Penny the way I looked at Penny, you know what I mean? And I love that whole thing. And I'm just super excited about literally all of that. for sure. Number 2, the ladies of the WNBA. A lot of stuff involving the WNBA,
man.
Been 5 seasons so far too.
It is
already started, man. It has already started with Caitlin Clark, bro.
Yeah,
it has already started.
Oh yeah, bunch of bored people out there.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, man. As a person who is a newbie to the WNBA experience, right? There are certain things. My motto is act savage, act Paris, right? Like I lean to them. Like I see what they saying about it, right? And from what I see a lot of dudes having really stupid comments about the WNBA, especially when it comes down to Caitlin Clark's struggles, right? People are saying, well, the WNBA is about to blow the bag. Like they're getting all these eyes, and the person they came to see is not looking good. They need to send an initiative to the refs to I'm like, no, because it's just like every other rookie in the league. She's gonna struggle and she's gonna get her shit together. Tell that story. Like be able to show the story of how she got it together over time, how she adjusted to the game. Like that's not how it works, bro. Like I've talked to several dudes who have said things like, yeah, let's bend the rules a little bit to make it easier for. I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
but those are the same
people. The NBA ain't doing it. Don't think the NBA ain't all right, bro. Just be quiet, man.
But those are the same people that got pissed off when Ice Cube offered her a $5 million deal and saying treat her as a actual athlete and not as a sideshow. You were treating her as a sideshow and a circus act by doing that. And that to me is like, it's like, bro, if you guys are thinking that way about this situation, stop watching and stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Like stop watching and stop talking about it because nobody needs any of that. That is a super unserious take about a legit. What it should show you is the WNBA is actually full of very talented ladies. That are gonna give her hell for the first couple of however long it takes.
And I think they understand the opportunity. I think ladies are indeed grateful that all these new eyes, these new casual eyes are coming in. But they've also got a level of pride. We'll say, look, we respect you who we are. We appreciate the attention that you're bringing us because we're playing in front of more eyes, more people, more bodies, bigger arenas, all these type of things. We're gonna bust your ass in the meantime. But we love you, kid. You know what I mean?
But that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be.
Yeah,
exactly.
Also, WNBA news. Paris, you got to help me with this one. What's going on with the Las Vegas Aces thing where the sponsors were saying we want to give why is that under investigation? And what's the difference between that and that being an endorsement? Like, why can't they start not a trust fund? Can't they start a collective for the WNBA team? Like, let me ask you this. Explain this. Is there a salary cap? Like, how do salaries in the WNBA work? Like, why can't a team say, okay, well, we're going to pay our ladies this? Like, break that whole thing down for me.
Yeah, it's like the NBA. They got a salary cap now, of course, on a much lower scale. I think the
$1
highest paid, even the highest paid WNBA players get paid $256,000.
Yeah,
a year. That's the highest salary. And Adrian Wilson is the best player in the WNBA. She's at $200,000, right? She's not in top 10 in salary. So, and I want to say the cap is like the highest max is like 280 something, if I ain't mistaken. I don't know the whole.
Why can't they just funnel this money to a company? Why can't they just get them an endorsement deal in this company?
I don't know. It feel like that's what WNBA need more money, right? It makes sense what you said, but I don't know. I don't know if anything's gonna truly come.
It feels very 80s NBA. The WNBA feels like the 80s NBA, where they're just trying to kind of find their legs. They're trying to find what they are, who they are, who to get behind. And
that's exactly what's going on.
Because if you ever watch the show, if you don't want to do your history, go watch the show Winning Time. You'll see how bootleg as hell the WNBA was even in the 1980s. You know what I mean? Like how they were just kind of piecing together shit. Teams couldn't make payroll, and Boston was taking people's star players, and the Lakers were doing the same thing, but because the owners couldn't afford to pay dudes, and it just feels like that where teams are literally saying, "Hey, individuals are putting money together and saying, hey, we'll give these ladies $100,000 a piece this year to make." I mean, that just seems so wild that you even have to do that, but that whole thing is a really crazy dynamic. Also, in some dope news, 2 more dope news stories come out of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, who we mentioned earlier, got a deal with Wilson She's got official Wilson basketball. First time that's happened since Michael Jordan for any athlete.
Oh God,
super dope news for her, man. That's super dope. Now, I'm gonna tell you what the dopest story out of all this is, man. I may have read this wrong. I've read this a million times, but if this is true, man, this shit dope as hell, bro. My girl, the Chi-Town, the Chi-Town Barbie, man, Angel Reese is I'm assuming, minority owner. I don't give a damn what level of owner she is. Owner for the DC Power Football Club, which is some type of semi-pro league.
Women's soccer.
Women's soccer.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something similar to like the 901 FC, or probably a lower level team than that, maybe. But she's the owner of a team in her hometown, Baltimore. That shit is dope as hell, bro. Let's go, bro, for real though. Like, super dope news. I'm super excited about everything that's going on in the WNBA. Ladies out there.
Also, Glorilla brought Angel Reese out at the concert.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
She brought it out.
Man, WNBA is just in a great time, man. In a great damn time. I'm down for all of it, man, for sure. Yeah, that's it. Number 3. This is kind of funny story. Kendrick Perkins just got in his feelings. He just said, all right, bro. Like, I know I work for ESPN, but enough of the goofball stuff that comes out of Bronny James. And I'm with him, man. I'm like, we understand. Like, this is LeBron James' son. We understand he's probably going to be in the NBA in some sort next year, whether it's in the G League or on a 2-way contract. I doubt any team, even the Lakers, are going to have him on the actual roster deal next year. But, man, enough is enough, man. The kid was like, all right, bro, I get all that. But y'all not going to get me to actually talk about this kid like he's a real NBA prospect with it. But we know he's about to get grandfathered into a professional basketball situation. So shout out to Kendrick Perkins for sure for calling out the BS, even though I'm sure he got an email from.
He definitely got somebody. Hey, buddy.
Man, that mess was wild. Man, all right, man, let's go talk about this kid like he's a real prospect, man. Like it, and I think, but this goes back to the conversation we had a few weeks ago, right? When we had my boy Corey Parson was on here. And I said, I really think that the NBA and these TV networks, what they think is the thing just ain't the thing, bro. Like, I'm sure there are a lot of people who really care about Bronny and this whole thing. But is it really that many people that really care about Bronny James? Like, for real, like if Bronny James goes and he plays in the G League, like he's part of the Los Angeles Lakers organization, right? Ain't nobody going to South Haven to go see that crap when he comes to town. Like, who's going to see that? I might be absolutely wrong, but like I don't think really that many people really care, like they say, care about all that. But I tell you what, y'all, that's it for the 3-pointer. I'm about to take a break. When we come back, we'll do this thing called Inside the Same Brain. We'll see y'all in a minute.
The Grizzlies, number 9 in the NBA draft. They're picking 9th, 39th, and 57. Who they getting with those 3? Go.
A veteran from around the league.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. If there's something that they could do with that 9th pick that gets them someone that's already proven, then yeah, because I don't even know who would be thought of as being the 9th best player that's coming out at this point. I have no idea who that person would be, but I know this team, in terms of for moving forward, you think in terms of winning a championship, still young enough, and you still want some pieces that are able to help you win right now, not just continue to amass for the future. For the future is right now for this team.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. At Create A Cig, our top priority is to provide the best customer service experiences possible while offering the largest variety of vape supplies, legal THC products, and smoking accessories. Our trained sales associates are here to assist any and all customers to help them find the best products available. With our daily deals, weekend deals, loyalty rewards program, and our punch card program, there are tons of rewards to earn to help our customers save plenty of money along the way. Check out one of Create A Cig's 4 locations across the greater Memphis area and come visit us.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show, man. Certain things happen when you record from home. You gotta knock on the door. I was like, I ain't expecting nobody, bro. So
man, you looked over to the side, and I was like, my boy's about to get snatched, bro. Like he's about to get snatched.
Live on the air.
Live on the air.
Yeah. It's all good though, man. But hey, I'm glad I was not using any of the fine products that Create A Cig, man. 4 area locations. Y'all know where they are. 4 area locations here in the city of Memphis. My favorite one is the one on 10 North Madison Avenue. Check them out. Check any of them out. Matter of fact, it's not Madison, it's 10 North McLean. I'm going back to my old ways, man. So check them out. Any of the 4 locations. My man Chris, general manager, great guy. Whenever he's there, whatever location he's in, he can definitely help you. But his crew is so solid, man. Wherever you go, they're willing to help you with all your Delta 8 needs. I'm a big time Delta 8 user. Like I said, it's the legal marijuana. Go do what you gotta do. Have your good Saturday night. Have your good weekend. Have your good Monday through Friday as well experience, man. And but I'm just telling you, be careful because somebody knock on your door, you ain't expecting, man. Hey, you shook up for real. So go check that out. And then you also have the nicotine packs as well. Go grab that Saint Asylum pack, whether it's a nicotine pack or the Delta 8 pack. The nicotine pack, of course, includes any wave bar, any Ursa Nano kit, any 60 milliliter theory or 30 milliliter salt nic juice. The Delta 8 pack, this is my pack. This is one I grab every time I go in there. It's gonna come with a pre-roll, a disposable vape cartridge, and a bag of gummies. I'm letting you know right now, them Delta 8 gummies, it'll get you right through the night and into the morning. Isn't that right, Kenny Stubblefield?
Hey, funny story about that. My wife and I are taking the kids on a trip this weekend, right?
Oh, you loaded up, huh?
And it's a trip that it'll be fun because we're going to go see family, but it's going to be a lot, right? Like there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. And she hit me up today and she's like, hey, about that Saint Asylum pack, you think we can get some of those gummies?
Yeah, you might need
one, man.
Can we get some of them gummies?
See, that's the thing. That's another thing about Create A Cig too, man. The people there, you can, like your wife, I'm assuming it's not a marijuana user at all.
No.
Somebody like that, they could tell her, hey, get this. Each one of these gummies, like the pack says, like 1,000 milligrams, right? But per gummy, that's about 25 milligrams. You're probably going to be comfortable around 5 to 10 milligrams. Just take a pinch off of this, or half of a half, a quarter, whatever. It'll probably give you a very pleasurable experience. Those are the type of conversations they'll take people like your wife by the hand, break down how to use the products properly without having a nightmare experience, for taking too much on your first time. But like I said, that's real. That's the kind of conversations you can have with the people at Create A Cig. I'm gonna talk about 2 things here for Inside the Same Brain that have been dominating my mind. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm not gonna talk too much about the Puff Daddy situation, strictly because of how heinous it is. I haven't even watched. To be honest, I haven't even watched the video.
I can't watch it either.
I can't look at it. I saw a very quick piece of it. Y'all, I saw enough to see, okay, that guy's done. Good. But I don't want to watch this woman be abused. Like the quick segment of it I saw, like, no, I'm done. I've seen enough of this. But I will talk about the Cameron situation. Talk about a plug, man. Talk about a plug. Branding your own stuff, man. Shout out to Cameron, letting y'all know that you can pick up his pink horsepower juice right before it's time to beat cheeks. Shout out to Cameron. Even though I thought he sounded absolutely ridiculous with the takes that he had, as far as, because he was basically trying to make Diddy the victim. And I'm like, all right, bro, let's not do that at all. And I'll just say this to anybody who has strong pro Diddy comments when it come down to those type of things. There's some conversations that it's okay just not to say anything. You know what I mean? Like there's
reevaluate. Take a step back and reevaluate. Honestly,
yeah, because there's certain things. Because whether you feel that way or not, because of the way that certain people are gonna feel about what you're saying, it's best just to be quiet. So like I said, I haven't watched the whole video. I won't watch the whole video. I do not want to see any woman be handled the way that she was being handled. But the main thing I want to talk about today is there was a story about Graceland being in foreclosure, right? Which, of course, the memes, the jokes came out. I got a post on Facebook that's got a little traction where I said, hey, they're about to turn Graceland into a Red Hook, right? Like this about to happen, right? And some dude took that post and made a Photoshop with Red Hook on top of Graceland. Then you come to find out that it's kind of a false alarm. The whole thing isn't true. But I really set that up just to say this, Kenny. Have any of you guys been to Graceland before? 3 guys that are Memphis.
No.
Like nobody goes to Graceland, bro. Like we've never been here. Like if Graceland was gone, like none of us would even notice. And then it seems like the older we get, you got to think that the people who are Elvis died in the 50s, 50s or 60s, if I'm not mistaken, right? So like people who are like fans of his music, it's just like if Drake or Kendrick Lamar died, right? That like right now, those are the 2 of the biggest artists, or Beyonce or Taylor Swift, whatever. Like if one of those people die, right? Even like Michael Jackson, like there's gonna come a time where those people's fan bases just don't exist anymore. Like not to the point where people are traveling all over the world to come see their memorial or come see their house or those type of things. So that whole, like the older we get, the less and less Elvis even seems relevant at all. And I know that Whitehaven did a anti-naysayer renovations to kind of move certain people out of the Whitehaven area in the outskirts of Whitehaven area away from that area to kind of clean things up or whatever they thought they were doing. But like I said, I just always thought it's hilarious how nobody in Memphis really messes around with the whole Graceland experience. And that the new thing they got, I haven't been there either, but like the entertainment thing they got, that seems pretty dope because they have like concerts and stuff there. But sorry, been in Memphis all my life, never been nor had a real desire to go to Graceland. Yeah, I'm good on it. And matter of fact, I'm really good on it. But I tell you what, gentlemen, we're about to slide up out of here, man. I'm praying for Graceland, man. Hope it don't turn to a weird hook.
Before I'm uploading something real quick. I need your reaction to before we get out of here. Give me 1 second. Y'all keep talking. Y'all keep talking for a second.
I'm just hoping Graceland doesn't turn into either a Red Hook or a Halloween. What's the Spirit Halloween? Hope who them become one of those 2, man. Yeah,
Graceland's not for. Yeah, there you go. Graceland's not for Memphians, man. Graceland's
not dope ass on the house. Yeah.
It's tough, man. Listen, I'm gonna play this for you.
All right, go ahead.
Our boy's at it again. Let me find it. Let me bring it up.
I think I know what he's about. I don't know what he's about to play, but I think he knows.
Wait, in Memphis, while you were in Memphis, did you worry that like every time you ate barbecue that somebody's going to shit in your food
or get shot? That's correct.
Memphis is a fun town.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's the best.
The place sucks.
Oh,
it was the most money I ever made. And it was the most miserable I ever was.
For how long were you there?
3 years.
3 years in Memphis.
Like the whole city smells like barbecue sauce. It's fucking dangerous. There's nothing to do at night. I would literally.
What are you talking about? You drive down to Tunica.
Yeah, exactly. To the casino.
Yeah,
dude. I would drive to Nashville. I skipped Tunica. I would go straight to Nashville.
Nashville's nice.
Yeah, but it's not for me.
It came out today.
Yep.
It must be popping up on Twitter right now while we record.
Mm-hmm.
Man, screw you, man. Get your garbage ass.
Yeah.
Hey, Memphis ain't for everybody, bro. That's real. But damn, bro, don't do all that, bro. Don't do all that. I ain't gonna say the dude's name, bro.
That's wild.
We call him Pimp Parsons at LBR.
Man, you ain't never lied. That ugly ass hair. Hey, bro. Hey, you know what though? All these freak ass pedophile ass dudes like Chandler Parsons, bro. Like, hey, be careful, bro, for real. Cause Memphis is a petty ass town. A lot of them girls that you is anyway. Let them start putting your ass out here. While you talking about
let them start.
You ain't putting fun of Memphis, bro. You just want to be real about it, Channel. But yeah, man, we about to slide about this joint, man. For my boy Parish Sharkey, for my guy Kendrick Stubblefield, this is Anthony Sain. We'll see you guys Friday, but make sure y'all check out my boys, man. Tigers on Tap. 3:00. Check them out for all the stuff going on with the University of Memphis. We'll see you guys Friday, man, and we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.